Hi, everybody. Welcome to the fabulous fourth STEM program. Thank you for joining the Madison Public Library. I'm Jenny. So today we are going to do 3 fun and easy activities that the whole family can enjoy using common household items. First up, we will be doing salt painting. Second will be our fireworks in a jar. And third will be our recycled CD spinner.
All right, let's get started with our salt painting. So I have some finished product of some fireworks and some stars for the 4th of July. So for this activity, you're going to need some white school glue or craft glue, regular table salt. Then to paint with, you can use food coloring, the watercolor tablets, or I have some watercolor tubes, which I have mixed up already with some water, and then a paintbrush or a dropper, and some paper and pencil, and a heavy cardstock or a watercolor paper works best for this activity. So the first thing you want to do, I have printed out what I would want it to draw, or you can take a blank piece of paper and your pencil and draw whatever you desire. Then you're going to take your white glue and trace your design on the paper with your glue. Then after you have finished covering all your lines, you're going to apply a liberal amount of salt over all the glue. Now at this point, you can set it aside and let it dry completely, and then shake all the excess salt off your paper, or you can jump right in and start with your painting. Okay, so what I have are some paper with the glue is already dry. I have removed the excess salt, and I'm going to go ahead and take my dropper and my paint and start dropping it onto the salt. And the science behind our painting is that salt is a hygroscopic material. So that means that it absorbs both liquid and water vapor in the air. So you can see how my paint starts spreading through all the salt, and even we can start getting some color mixing when they come close together. And that's it, all there is to it, and you can just keep on dropping paint with your brush or your dropper until you have your design covered. And this activity is our fireworks in a jar. For this activity, you're going to need a large glass jar, a small bowl or jar, some food coloring, some cooking oil, and a fork. The first thing you're going to want to do is fill your large jar about 3/4 full with warm water. In your small jar or bowl, you're going to pour in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of the oil. Add to that about 4 or 5 drops of your food coloring. With your fork, gently mix in the food coloring until it breaks up. And then slowly pour the oil into your water. And then we're going to wait for our fireworks. And what is the science behind our fireworks? Well, the first thing you might have noticed when you poured your oil into the water is that the oil did not mix and it floated on top of the water. Because of their molecular structures, the oil and water don't mix. Also, the liquid densities differ. The oil is less dense or lighter than the water, and therefore it floats. Then our food coloring is water-based, so it will not mix with the oil. And it is denser than the oil, so it starts to sink. When it hits the water, then it starts to dissolve, and we get our spectacular fireworks for the 4th of July. This craft is our recycled CD spinner. So you will obviously need an old CD or DVD to recycle. If you don't have one, you can always use a piece of cardboard and just trace a circle on the cardboard and cut it out. You also need a button that will cover the hole in the center of your CD or cardboard. About 24 inches of some twine or string or cording, some paper and colored pencils or markers or crayons, scissors, and some glue and some hot glue or a craft glue gun. Alright, so the first thing that you will want to do, and this is already done, is I have taken some hot glue and glued the button into the center of my CD, and I've run my cord through 2 of the holes, and you're going to take your loose end and tie a knot in it. And you can do this before or after you put your pattern on your CD. So I have a pattern that I printed out and cut out, or you can take your CD and trace it on a piece of paper, and then take your markers, your crayons, and color in a pattern on your paper and cut it out. Then when you're done, you're just going to use your glue, glue your pattern onto your CD. And then to see it in action, you want to take both ends of your string, and you're going to twirl it like a jump rope to wind up the string. All right, let's talk about how we can make a little science with our CD spinner. We can use your CD spinner to create a Newton disc, or also known as a disappearing color wheel. The Newton disc is named after Isaac Newton, who you may know is famous for his work on gravity, also physics and mathematics, and light and color. So in his experiment, he used a prism to split white light into its colored components. So when you shine white light through a prism, you get the colors of the rainbow. And then he used a second prism to combine the colors back together into white light again. So if we create a color wheel and spin it very fast, it's going to show how the colors of the rainbow come together to make up white light. So if you take your pattern for your wheel, and to make it simple, you want to try to divide it into about 6 equal sections. And then you're going to color each section one of the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. When you're done, you can cut that out, as it's already done here, and I've glued it on the back side of my CD spinner. Then what happens when we spin this, because of what's called persistence of vision, when you see an image and it's imprinted on your retina, it stays just a little bit longer after the image is removed. So when you spin all these colors fast enough and they all have an imprint, then it's all going to look like white when it spins fast enough.